Oh, here we go. The music's changed. This is an important character here. You see a strikingly beautiful ghostly form before you. Her arms are crossed and her eyes are closed. She has long flowing hair and her gown seems stirred by some ethereal breeze. As you watch, she stirs slightly and her eyes flicker. This is the girl from the little intro video that kind of floated off at the end.
You! What is it that brings you here? Have you come to see firsthand the misery you have wrought? Perhaps in death I still hold some shred of use for you. My love.
My love? Do I know you? The spirit makes a begging motion with her hands. How can it be that the thieves of the mind continue to steal my name from your memory? Do you not remember me, my love? The girl stretches out her arms. Think! Her voice becomes desperate again. The name Dianara must evoke some memory within you. I think I feel the stirrings of her memory. Tell me more. Perhaps your words shall chase the shadows from my mind, Dianara. Oh, at last the fates show mercy. Even death cannot chase me from your mind, my love. Do you not see? Your memory shall return. Tell me, how can I help you, and I shall. Do you know who I am? You are the one both blessed and cursed, my love, and you are one who is never far from my thoughts and heart. Blessed and cursed, what do you mean? The nature of your curse should be apparent, my love. Look at you. She points at you. Death rejects you. Your memories have abandoned you. Do you not pause and wonder why? I'm still trying to get my bearings, actually. What else can you tell me about myself? I know that you once claimed you loved me, and that you would love me until death claimed us both. I believe that, never knowing the truth of who you were. Sorry, I believed that, never knowing the truth of who you were, what you were, and what am I? I cannot. She suddenly freezes and she speaks slowly, carefully, as if her voice frightens her. The truth is this. You are one who dies many deaths. These deaths have given the knowing of all things mortal. And in your hand lies the spark of life and death. Those that die near you carry a trace of themselves that you can bring forth. As Dianara speaks the words, a crawling sensation wells up in the back of your skull, and suddenly feel compelled to look at your hands. As you lift it up and look at it, you can see the blood coursing sluggishly through your arm, pouring into your muscles and in turn giving strength to your bones.
Updated my journal.
And you know Dianara is right. You suddenly remember how to coax the dimmest spark of life from her body and bring it forth. The thought both horrifies you and intrigues you. You have remembered how to raise others from the dead. To access this ability, select the Special Abilities button in the quick menu. You can only use this on party members who have died in your presence. It will not work on anyone who does not travel with you, and it will not work on party members you remove from your party while they're dead. I had other questions. I don't want to ask who are you, because then that gives it away. I need to escape this place. Can you help me? As you're about to ask Dianara the question, it catches in your throat. It occurs to you that if you tell her you are looking for an escape route, she may feel you are abandoning her. If you are going to ask her how to leave, you'll need to be delicate about it. Dianara, I am in danger. Can you guide me to a place of safety? I shall return as soon as I can to speak to you again. In danger? Dianara looks concerned. Of course, my love. I will aid you in any way I can. She closes her eyes for a moment and you watch an ethereal zephyr pass through her body, stirring her hair. After a moment the zephyr dies and her eyes slowly open. Perhaps there is a way. Yes? I sense that this place holds many doors shrouded from mortal eyes. Perhaps you could use one of these portals as a means of escape. Portals? Portals are holes in existence leading to destinations in the inner and outer planes. If you could find the proper key, you could escape through one of them. I think I know what she's talking about because of that anarchist zombie telling us. Key. Dianara pauses for a moment as if attempting to remember. Portals will reveal themselves when you have the proper key. Unfortunately, these keys can be almost anything: an emotion, a piece of wood, a dagger of silvered glass, a scratch of cloth, a tune you hum to yourself. I fear that the dustmen are the only ones who know the keys you could use to leave their halls, my love. I see. Oof, I'm going to ask, but I don't know how this is going to go. Who are you? The spirit makes a begging motion. Okay. Okay, I'm going to lie. I'm going to say yes, your name does sound familiar. Yes, you seem so hopeful. What memories does my name evoke? Oh, your name evokes passionate thoughts, though their content is unclear. Perhaps if you were to tell me more. At last, my love, fate show mercy. Okay, we've had that bit of text before. Right. Nothing now, dear Nara. I shall return. Farewell. Hold a moment. I learned much when I travelled with you, love. And what you have lost, I have retained. I have not divulged all that I know to you. My sight is clear, whilst you fumble in the darkness for a spark of thought. And what is it that your sight sees that I do not? Time itself relaxes its hold as the chill of oblivion slowly claims us, my love. Glimpses of things yet to come swarm across my vision. I see you, my love. I see you as you are now, and... What is it? What do you see? I see what lies ahead of you. It ripples through the plains, stemming outward from this point. Shall I speak of what I see? Tell me. First, I require a promise you will return, that you will find some means to save me or join me. Oh God. Okay, I'll lie. Oh, I feel bad.
This is what my eyes see, my love. Unfettered by the shackles of time. You shall meet enemies 3, but none more dangerous than yourself in your full glory. They are shades of evil, of good, and of neutrality, given life and twisted by the laws of the plains. You shall come to a prison built of regrets and sorrow, where the shadows themselves have gone mad. There you will be asked to make a terrible sacrifice, my love. For the matter to be laid to rest, you must destroy that which keeps you alive, and be immortal no longer. I know that you must die, while you still can. The circle must come to a close, my love. You were not meant for this life. You must find that which was taken from you and travel beyond, into the lands of the dead.
Die while I still can.
Updated my journal.
I do not doubt your ability to rise from the dead. I do believe that every incarnation weakens your thoughts and memories. You claim you have lost your memory. Perhaps it is a side effect of countless deaths? If so, what more will you lose in successive deaths? If you lose your mind, you will not even know enough to realize you cannot die. You shall truly be doomed. Countless deaths? How long has this been going on? I do not truly know, except that it has gone on long enough. Farewell.
I shall wait for you in death's halls, my love.
She smiles, but there is only sadness in it. She closes her eyes, and with an ethereal whisper, she fades. You back with me, Chief? You kind of drifted out on me there. No, I'm fine. Do you know who that spirit was? Spirit? That spectre I was talking to, the woman. You were rattling your bone box with some woman? Where? Mort looks around excited. What did she look like? She was right on top of the bar. Didn't you see her? No. You just kind of drifted out for a bit there. Just stood there, statue-like. I was a little worried you'd gone addled on me again. No, I'm fine, I think. Let's move on.
I feel stronger.
Oh. I've leveled up. Okay, let's see how we can use our Level up. Here we go. Level up. Saving throws have been improved. Fighting skills have improved. 1 characteristic point gained and 9 hit points gained. Okay, I'll accept that. Right, we can assign this attribute point then. You can start increasing beyond 18. 18 was the maximum to begin with. And you see there the text about wisdom changes, so your wisdom surpasses that of mortal men. You gain a substantial bonus to all earned experience points. So this is where you start getting to the, you know, really superhuman kind of attributes when you go beyond 18. I'm actually going to put it into charisma. There's a charisma check that I know coming up. It's quite a while off, quite a good while off, but I want to be ready for it, and I need to have a charisma of 16 for it. So I'm gonna put charisma up for the time being. Plus, it'll generally help anyway, in terms of speaking to merchants and some of the conversations I'll have. So there we go, and you can see his hit points have gone up to 30 now. So yeah, good stuff. Right. Okay, still going around the edge here. Another rusty, blood-covered slab. Zombie to talk to. This woman's corpse pauses in its trudging about as you approach. You notice the number 114 is carved into its forehead. Her mouth has been sewn shut, but the threading is slowly coming loose, and faint moans issue from between her lips. Okay. Let's explore a bit more. Oh, this guy's no doubt going to interrogate me. Yep, there we go. Dustman granted with the stony gaze. Are you lost? No. I'm here to see someone. Oh, I can say Dianara now. I'll lie though. I'll say Dan. He's not familiar. Maybe speak to one of the guides. Yeah, okay. Right, I'll walk away. Speak to this zombie. Oh, I would if I could. There we go. This reanimated male corpse has the number 1041 carved into its forehead. Despite its taut, desiccated flesh, it is apparent that its features once had a rather exotic cast to them. The zombie's lips have been stitched closed, most likely to prevent it from moaning incessantly. It smells strongly of formaldehyde. Have you seen anything interesting? No. It's a heavily barred gate of rusted steel. There doesn't appear to be any way to open it. Okay. This male corpse with the number 331 chiseled into its skull. His eyes and lips are stitched closed, and there is a gaping hole torn in his throat. He smells foul. Seen anything interesting? No. Right, we've done a lap of the place. Is there a bit in the middle? Yeah, here we go. Oh, these are the big skeletons. Yep. Skeleton giants. Here we go. We'll speak to one. Before you is a giant skeleton in ornate bronze armour. The armour has been bolted onto the skeleton's frame, and a series of elaborate symbols has been carved across the breastplate. You wonder where the skeleton came from. You weren't aware they made humans in this size. The huge blade in its hands looks like it weighs as much as a wagon cart. Mind if I hold that blade a second? You must be getting tired of holding it. The skeleton looks too long dead to answer any of your questions. Either that, or its head is too high up for it to hear you. Okay. Examine the skeleton carefully. The skeleton's intricate bronze armour is riveted onto its ribcage and shoulder blades with a series of iron bolts. As you study the frame behind the armour, you notice the same iron bolts are set into the skeleton's shoulder, elbow, pelvic and knee joints. A mass of thick leather cords and heavy knotted ropes run along the length of the skeleton's arms and legs, woven in such a pattern that they resemble muscles and tendons. Okay, examine the armour. Despite the armour's obvious age, it looks well cared for. It shines brightly, and the symbols engraved on the breastplate seem to flow in the firelight, shifting slightly whenever you try to focus on them. Study the symbols. Almost unconsciously, you let your gaze relax as you look at the symbols. After a moment, the symbols cease shifting and resolve into a trail of runes that run up and down the breastplate. Strangely enough, the interlocking pattern of runes reminds you of chains, and with that thought, you suddenly recall that these runes are some sort of warding enchantment. Okay, study the runes and try and recall the enchantment. You study the pattern of runes as they weave their way across the breastplate. On its most basic level, the runes are a lesser armouring enchantment, with several skull-shaped runes and spherical tracings along the edges of the armour make you suspect several greater necromantic and warding enchantments are woven in as well. Touching the skeleton will most likely cause it to awaken and defend itself. Oh, I don't know if I want to mess around with this guy. Okay. Hey, how about this skeleton, Mort? Will it do as a body? Mort grins. Is that a yes, or... Oh, sorry. Mort floats up to the head of the skeleton and stares at it, then floats back down, studying the armour and blade as he descends. Oh, yes. Yes, I think this'll do. I don't know. This thing looks like more than you can handle. Then what in Beato did you ask me if I wanted it for, then? Practicing your cruelty skills? Mort bobs indignantly. And after all I've done for you? I was thinking about your safety, Mort. I'm worried attaching your head to this thing would hurt you somehow. Mort stares at you for a moment. What, did we get married at some point? What's all this I don't want you to get hurt wash? Mort glares at you. If you really cared, you'd find a way to get my head on that giant skeleton's body. I'm worried about the option here. If I say alright, then give me a second to pry the head off this thing. As you're about to do so, you suddenly stop and your eyes are drawn to the skeleton's armour. Something about the symbols engraved on its breastplate makes you pause, as if these skeletons are guardians, then disturbing them may awaken them. Oh god. I mean, if I'm playing chaotically, I'm gonna get killed. I'm gonna die. Okay, that's a risk I'm willing to take. As you touch the skeleton, an iron bell starts tolling throughout the mortuary, and with lightning-like speed, the skeleton awakens, raising its blade to attack. You wish you stayed dead, Bones. Oh, flippin' heck, he hit me for quite a bit there. Oh, Jesus.
Looks
Wow.
like death's come for the bill.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Feels like I've been through a shredder.
I mean, that didn't work, did it? I tried, Mort. I did. I tried, buddy. I really did. What are you still doing here? Look, that just died again. Right, are they going to attack me again? Let's just see what happens.
All right.
They're not constantly, like, aggroed now. Nah. Ha! Well, I'll piss him off again. Right. Examine the skeleton carefully. Examine the armour. Study the symbols. Study the runes. See if you can dispel the enchantment somehow. You suspect that marring the rune pattern along the breastplate could unravel the enchantments, but it looks difficult. The pattern is complicated, and scratching out the wrong portion could cause the skeleton to animate. Okay, I've got a book though that gives me a guide. Compare the pattern on the enchantments in the Tome of Bone and Ash. See if you can determine how they can be broken. Let's try it. From what you can make out from the tome, it seems the armouring enchantment applies only to the breastplate. The necromantic enchantment allows the skeleton to be raised, but it is the warding enchantment that gives the skeleton its limited awareness of its surroundings. You guess that if you were to mar the skeleton's wards, it would interpret it as an attack, unless you blinded it of your presence first. Got a few options here. Hang on a minute, but it's okay. But it is the warding enchantment that gives the skeleton its limited awareness. You'd guess that if you were to mar the skeleton's wards, it would interpret it as an attack unless you blinded it first. The work is difficult and nerve-wracking at first, but slowly your mind begins to focus and the runes begin to unravel beneath your attack. Within minutes, the giant skeleton has been stripped of the enchantments binding it. It collapses, falling to the floor with a crash of bones and a heavy clanging noise. Damn pile of bones. You wait for a moment, but no one responds to the sound. Moving quickly, you sift through the skeleton's parts on the floor. Most of it is too heavy or too old to be useful, but you discover a piece of the skeleton's breastplate with the majority of one of the broken enchantments engraved on it. You have a feeling that it could prove useful. I'll take it.
Looks like my skills have increased.
What did I just get? Rune of Lesser Warding. Invokes armor. Okay, it's like a one-use spell. Okay, and Mort just went up. That didn't work. It must only be for the nameless one. Oh no, maybe I just wasn't on him. But here we go. Right, level up. 2 hit points gained. Oh no, 10 hit points gained. 2 hit points from Constitution. And he's got better at fighting. Nice. Right, what's there? A way out of here, somehow. Like I thought it said first floor. There was a portal. Maybe if I check my journal? I am supposed to be writing things down to help me. Journal. I can search. Would it be finger? Finger bone? Try finger. Max has told me there's a secret portal in the northwest room of the first floor of the mortuary. If you take a crooked finger bone up to it, it will activate and take me to a secret crypt where Vaxis says I can rest. He doesn't know where I could find a crooked finger bone, however. Right. Northwest. Which is over here. So near to where Diana is. Aha! Jackpot! Oh dear. That didn't look good. Hey, hey. Right, there's something on the floor here. Copper Commons, Pen's Note. This note has been written with remarkable penmanship upon the finest parchment. Vaxis, if you are reading this, then you have undoubtedly failed in your task and have been forced to use the escape route I arranged. I told you that your little disguise idea was ridiculous. In any case, you'll need to lay low for a while. The dustmen may be deluded, but they are not fools, and they will certainly seek retribution for your intrusion. I have left you some coins. Use them to secure a hiding place in the hive, preferably in Ragabeka's Square. The dustmen will be unwilling to look for you there. Once you've secured a new hiding place, I have a new mission for you. Find out where Farod is getting those bodies he's delivering to the mortuary. It's apparently causing the dustmen a great deal of upset, and I wouldn't mind knowing myself. Reports are that the stone-faced dustman at the Gathering Dust Spa, Initiate Emmerich, I think the fool's name is, has been sending out finders to try and mark Farod's movements. See if you can find out how far along he is and hinder his efforts until we know more about Farod's activities. I don't want Emmerich finding out something before we do. Pen. Okay. I will take that. Right, anything else in here? What's this? This brazier has long since run dry of oil. Okay. There is a way out. Right. It says I can rest here. I don't think I need to. Let's go. Is this a sigil? Hey, but it was hard to tell there. But it kind of showed you the city kind of going up on itself. Almost like in the film Inception, you know, when it kind of folds in on itself. Sigil is a huge ring, and the city is on the inside of the ring. Not actually, no, I'll correct myself there. It's not a ring, it's like a tire, because it's curved up at the edges as well. So it's like a city on the inside of a tire that sits atop a massive spike in the middle of a barren plain. So yeah, a really unique setting. And it's the centre of the multiverse, so it's got all these kind of different people here. Now, it's making a lion out of me because everyone here looks pretty human. But honestly, as we start exploring, there's a lot more to it than just this gathering of people here. Right, we're out. We've got a bit of a clue in that we know that Initiate Emmerich at the Gathering Dust Bar is onto something. You know, he's investigating Farad, so maybe he knows where he is. But let's have a wander around. We don't actually have barbarians yet. Let's have a walk about. Hive dweller. The man gasps and points at Mott. Oi, look, a floating skull. Mott rolls his eyes. Oi, look, a talking tud. What? Looking to get a few teeth knocked out, you jabbering bumbox? The man steps forward, towards Mort menacingly. I'll stop the man. You move between Mort and the man. He scowls at you, then backs away. Wasting me time. He turns to walk away. Let him go. Yeah, go on. Sod off you. If you're looking to find your way around Cutter, there's a post outside the Gathering Dust Bar. Alright, thank you for the tip. A thug, eh? A couple of thugs. And a harlot. Oh, God. Right, we'll steer clear of her. Let's go this way. Okay, so this is the mortuary here. So I don't know if we can... The door has been sealed. Yeah, okay, we can't just wander in. There's guards at the gate. Just gonna have a walk around here though, reveal it all. So you can see a massive building. Really, really big. Dominates this part of the hive. Oh, no, I didn't want to talk to him. Right, we're fine, we're fine. I think I should be able to bring up the map of the area. Yeah, here we go. This is the mortuary entrance. So yeah, it's a massive building. This is the hive. It's kind of a poor area within Sigil. Who's this coming at me? People just walk directly at you here. Don't give a rat's ass about personal space. Pox, let's talk to him. This cowled figure is hunched by the mortuary gate. His face is obscured by the shadows of his hood. What little you can see is his chin, which is covered with stubble and what appears to be a foul green and purplish rash. Ugh. The rash seems heaviest around his neck, fading as it crawls up his chin. Greetings. The figure doesn't budge. There is a moment of silence, then he responds in a high-pitched voice that sounds more suited to a girl of 10 years than a man. Hi! Who are you? Pox I am, hi! Sorry about this voice, by the way, but it says it's a 10-year-old girl. This is my best attempt at a 10-year-old girl. Do you know someone called Farad? I'm just going to start asking random people. Hi, Farad, collector. Excuse me. Big. Name has weight. Cast long shadow it does. Hi. Do you know where I might find him? Hi, in the hive here he is. Somewheres, hi. Can you be more specific? Hi, somewheres in the hive he is. Farad, hi, he does. Very hard finding he is. Not worth finding he is. Oh God, I can't stay that high. Not worth finding, what do you mean? Hi, many hates him, other collectors even. Sharegrave hates him. Not like Farad at all. Hi. Sharegrave? Hi, Sharegrave, big name. Carry weight, cast long shadow he does. Tell Pox what to do he does. Oh, would your boss, this Sharegrave, know where Farad is?
Updated my journal.
Aye, Sharegrave knows darks he does. Knows Farad a hiding he does. Sharegrave in Ragpicker Square, many blocks west of here. Hi. I say Sharegrave that Pox sends you. Send him Sharegrave. Become Sharecopper with Pox he will. Hi. Ragpicker Square, west of here. Alright, I'll go look for this Sharegrave there then. Thanks Pox, that was actually quite useful. And thank you for making me do the worst vocal impression ever. So in here, Sevtai, Quentin, because we're out into a big bit of the city now, there's actually lots of options on what we can do. So lots of different things that we can do. This isn't all just main quest stuff. There's lots of side quests here, lots of conversations to be had, lots of people to meet. Some really interesting side quests actually that we can go and get into. We'll choose the right ones at the right times. Look at this guy. Bayan the Sender. Hive Dweller. Just gonna have a wander around. There's a Dabus. You see a tall creature with a shock of white hair. Its skin has a greenish cast, and a pair of goat horns protrudes from its forehead. It is dressed in long flowing robes and appears to be floating slightly above the ground. Greetings. The creature turns to face you and a series of symbols appear around its head. The symbols have a slight glow about them, and they just hover there. Oh, for the power's sake, Pike and Dabus. What's wrong? These are Dabus. They speak in rebusses, these annoying word puzzles. If you don't know what he's saying, then we better find a native or some such other way to communicate with him, if we want to. An annoying bunch. My bet, they can't speak. They just would rather piss everyone else off by trying to puzzle out what they're saying. What's a Dabus? Chant is the janitors for the Lady of Pain. They float around breaking, fixing and patching up Sigil according to her whims. They're worse than corpse flies. You can't swat them though, or the lady will get upset. Lady of Pain, who's that? She runs this city. You'll know if you see her. She's got these blades around her face. She's about the size of a giant. She floats off the ground, just like these guys. Mort nods at the Dabus, who is looking at you both. Nobody knows much about her. She doesn't speak much. All you need to know is that you don't want to make her angry. If you see her, my advice, run. I see. The Dabus waits patiently, its hands tucked into its sleeves. A series of symbols materialise above its head, then vanish, and a question mark appears. I'll try and talk to it, see if I can strike up a conversation. You ask the Dabus several questions, trying to get a feel for the rebusses that appear above its head. It is extremely patient throughout your discussion, giving you easy sentences to translate. After a few minutes, you start to get the hang of it. It feels like you've done this before. Well, maybe you can help me. The Dabus waits. Who are you? The Dabus inclines its head slightly with a stream of symbols appears above its head. I am a Dabus. Okay, I had another question. What are you doing? A batch of symbols appears above its head. I attend to my duties. I had other questions. Can you tell me about the Lady of Pain? A lone symbol appears above the Dabus's head. This one shows a metallic female mask with blades coming out of the sides. Just looking at the ghostly image makes you uncomfortable. I had other questions. Oh, okay, I've exhausted all that. The Dabus bows slightly. Symbols swirl around its head, then it turns away. Okay, so yeah, we can go off to different sections of the hive here, if we want to. Thugs. Another Dabus. Oh, what's this? Oh, okay, let's go in here. Just go in a random person's house. Shalandra. Surely she's not going to like it if I loot the place. Let's talk to her. Blast! I almost had it that time. Don't you know it's dangerous to interrupt spellcasters while they're evoking a spell? Luckily for you, I was only practicing. Well, what is it you want? My apologies for disturbing you. Farewell. Okay, I imagine she's important for a quest at some point.
Done.
I mean, there wasn't anything there to loot, but I wonder if she would actually kick off. Okay, let's go outside.
Done.
Right. Let's have a look down this way. We're just going to fully explore this area. Make a decision about what to do next. The music's changed. Oh, hang on. Okay, here is Annah. She's important. Let's talk to Annah, and then we'll probably end the episode there.
Take off.
You see a striking red-haired girl dressed in leather armour. Her right arm is covered with a series of interlocking plates that look as if they were taken from the skin of some creature, and a horn shoulder piece protects her left arm. Oddly enough, she has a tail that is flicking back and forth as you watch. Bike off! Greetings. The girl ignores you. I'm looking for someone named Farron. Do you know where I can find him? Aye, I might say more of you sweetening the question, aye? She clicks her tongue and rubs two fingers together. Jink, jink, aye? Jink, jink? She means money. Oh. Aye. She glances at Mort, then shrugs. What the skull said. Hard coin. Alright, how much? How much is it to you to know, aye? She studies you, then folds her arms. Come on, I haven't got all day. I haven't. Turn on the charm. About 10. If your information's good enough, it could be more. Alright then. She pockets the money. It's gone so quickly you have no idea where it vanished to. Look for him in the alley, spireward from the mortuary. That's to the south of the west of the mortuary, aye? Very well, I had some other questions. I can't help but notice that you have a tail. Do I now? The girl looks at her tail. Oh, so I do. And here I was thinking that it was a trick of my eye. My auntie a sharp cutter. She bares her teeth. Why don't you piss off to whatever hole you crawled out of and leave me be? Me nor my tail is for trade, jig? Alright, I was just... It's just as well neither you nor your tail are for sale. You couldn't squeak out a living with them anyway. What's helping? What are you about, you blighter? Say it again! He didn't say anything, but I'm still curious. Why do you have a tail? The girl's eyes narrow to slits. Are you daft? Can it be that you're dumber than stone, or mayhap there's a power of ignorance? May the dabbers prick you over and make you a street. Look, she's a tiefling, chief. She got some demon's blood in him, and that makes him paranoid and defensive. Nice tail, though. Shame it's plastered on such an ugly body. Whoa, now. You better latch your bone box, you foul-mouthed mimir, for I split it from your jaw. Jig? Why don't you try and split my jaw, chit? All I'm hearing is a lot of chatter from some hive trash. Throw a punch, I dare you. I'll bite your legs off. Enough! Aye, that's right. Leash your mimir, tard. Is it tard? Or I'll bury him with his body, jig. Mimir, what are you talking about? Aye, Mimir. What, the gulf between your ears so wide my words echo? Eat ya! You still haven't answered my question. What's a Mimir? Mimir's a talking encyclopedia. That's me, chief. Ah, got it. She glances at Mort, then you, then sneers. I guess I know which... Oh, I guess I know which you has the brains, eh? Yeah, look, I had some other questions. Can you tell me where I am? You're lost, but you're about to find trouble. Make yourself lost somewhere else, Bubba. I'm missing a journal. Have you seen one? She looks at you strangely. Nay. Not seen nothing like that, I haven't. Alright. I think I've asked all the questions I want to. Okay, nothing. Farewell. Aye, pike off to wherever you came from then. Farewell to you too.
I've never seen something so ugly, I've not.
Anna's actually important. We'll find out a bit more about her in time. She's voiced by Sheena Easton, the singer, who did Morning Train. You may or may not have heard that song. It was actually called 9 to 5.
Like the Dusty's lost one of their
Brackets, Morning Train. Just not to confuse it, 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. You can look it up on Google. Okay, right, we're going to end that episode there. We actually managed to get out the mortuary, thank God for that. It was getting a bit depressing in there, just talking to zombies, trying to chat them up. We're out into the hive, into Sigil proper now. It was really good, and we have a couple of leads. We could go see Sharegrave, who's Pox's boss, the Collector, to quiz him about where Farod is. And this pub just here, the Gathering Dust Bar. Yep, Gathering Dust Bar. We could go in there and ask Initiate Emmerich what he knows about Farod, because he's trying to find out where all the bodies Farod's been dumping have been coming from. So yeah, a couple of leads that we'll investigate next time. Do tune in for episode 3 of this playthrough. We are making some progress, so yeah, join us for that.
A leg. Well, I mean, you shake a leg.
And here's some more patter between, no doubt, between these two, savaging each other. And apologies for that terrible Scottish accent. You'd think, having lived here since I was 5, I would actually be able to nail a Scottish accent, but that was as good as I've got. Right, tune in for more terrible accents next time.